Hello everyone, my name is Arpit and in today's video we are going to discuss about how to detect loop in a linked list. As you can see, this is a linked list which is having a loop, and there are various ways by which we can detect that the linked list is having a loop or not. First we have to understand the question properly. In the question we are going to have a, a linked list by using a pointer which is pointing towards its first node or its head, and there are various way we can find that a linked list is having a loop or not by just that information. So let's start this video with the approach number one. Suppose this is our linked list. Now the first approach which came to my mind is that we just store the address of each of the uh, node as we iterate through it. For example, when the first node, when we reach it, we just store this address into something, what it could be. The best option which we have is a map. As you all know that map can be just accessed in a constant time. Therefore, the best option is map. So for each iteration, we just store the address in a map, and if on iterating we find any node which we already have in the map, then it means that we again had gone to it. For example, in this you can see that we started over here, we go there, and again back to this node. And as you can see, if we try to do in this approach, the number of steps we are going to have is going to be proportional to the number of nodes which is in there. And as we are storing every node's address, therefore the time complexity and the space complexity both will be big of n. But the thing is, it is not the only way to do this. But before going to the next approach, first let's discuss this problem with its code. This is the hashing approach which we are going to use. As we traverse the list one by one, we keep putting the node's address in a hash table. At an endpoint, if null is reached, then we will return a false value, and if next of current node points to any of the previous stored nodes in hash, then we will return true. This is the basic structure of how we are gonna write this code. But as in this program, this is the main code which we are going to use, in which we will see that if there is a point where the node is pointing to null, if we find a point where the temporary node is pointing to null, then we will return false, which will indicate that there is no value for which a loop is detected. But if there isn't a case, we will keep on going, and in each step we will try to find the particular address. If we are able to find it, then we will return true, because in the loop we already had this value once, and if we encountered it again, then it means then we are stuck in a loop. And if we didn't, then we will insert the value, that this value is we already encountered. The complexity of this algorithm is going to be big of n, and the space complexity is also going to be big of n. There is another method where we can simply change the linked list data structure itself, but in most cases the data structure is predefined, and we aren't allowed to change it. Therefore, it isn't a recommended method, but I am going to tell you the approach of this method. As you can see, we modified that data structure itself and added a place column where we put a sign if we had visited that node already or not. We will simply traverse the linked list then and keep marking visited nodes. If we see a visited node again, there is a loop. The solution will work in big of n, and as we have already modified the data structure, after modification we didn't require any other memory. So in terms of that, we will consider that the complexities of the time complexity here is big of n, and the space complexity is big of 1. But actually I won't recommend you, because in most problems you will see that the data structure is already given to you. There are other methods too where you can achieve this by just another logic. But if you want to try this logic, the code is here. We will simply just here add a flag in the structure. It will consume the memory, but it is in the data structure itself. Therefore, when we count auxiliary space, we won't count it as in that, but it will take space. As you can see, it is the function. In each function we just put the data and mark the flag equal to 0, and when we are going to use our detect loop function, we will just simply put the flag equal to 1 if it is equal to 0, but if it is already equal to 1, then we will return true, which will signify that the function already had reached to this value. For the third approach, instead of modifying the data structure itself, we can just create a temporary node and make each of the node point towards it during traversal. We will simply do that this node will be traversing to a temporary node here. While we go to iteration, we will make all these nodes pointing towards it. This node will also towards that temporary node. This node will also traverse towards it, and we will keep on checking also that whether it is already pointing towards it or not. If it is already pointing towards it, then it means we had came again on that point. We then go there. If it is pointing towards it already, then we will say that we are stuck in a loop, or we will return the value true. And after complete iteration, if we reach a point where the next pointer is pointing towards null, then we will return a value false. Else, like in this case, if we reach a case where the pointer already is pointing towards the temporary variable, then we will be able to understand that we had came again to the point where we made this node points to the temporary variable, and now we have to again see in that means we are in a loop. It can be understood by using code. In this method we will simply create a temporary node, and the next pointer of each node that is traverse is made to point to this temporary node. This way we are using the next pointer of a node as a flag to indicate whether the node has been traversed or not. Every node is checked to see if the next is pointing to a temporary node or not. In the case of the first node of the loop, the second time we traverse it, this condition will be true. Hence we will find that loop exists. If we come across a node that points to null, then loop doesn't exist. This is the code for this approach. This is the main function which we are going to use. Here we just created a temporary node, and until the head is pointing to null we will keep on iterating, and if head next is equal to null means either we find head equal to null, or if we find the pointer's next variable equal to null, then it means that the linked list is having no loop. But if it isn't the case, and the pointer head or the pointer the current pointer at which we are is pointing towards temp, then we will return true, means we have again reached at the point. And if both the conditions aren't met, then we will simply put head dot next equal to temp and head equal to next. And after the all iterations, if nothing came up and the head became equal to null, then we will be simply returning false. Now before going to our best and most optimized approach, I am going to show you an approach where we just didn't have to use any extra space, any modification or anything. We just have to create a function which is going to do all that for us. But as you are going to see, it will cost us a lot of time, and we will optimize that in the final approach. But before going to that, let's see this approach. In this approach we are simply going to use 2 pointers. These 2 pointers are to point to the start and end, to the first and the last element of a certain conditioned loop. We will start both first and last pointers at the same position, which is going to be head pointer. And as we iterate this start and end, or I say first or last, in these pointer the end or the last pointer is keep on going forward. As the last variable goes from this position to this position, we will calculate the number of nodes in between them, including or not including them. For example, it is the first pointer, it is second, third, fourth. Now from if both are pointing towards pointing here, then it will return 1. If it goes here, then from here to here, how many nodes it traveled? 2, 1 and 2. Now if we reach here, how many nodes it has traveled until now? 3. And if this journey continues, and after each iteration on calculating distance, we find that it is continuously increasing from its previous approach, then we can state that it is going in a unique direction. And if it reaches null by going in that exact direction, if it is able to reach null by just going into this direction to this direction, then we will simply return false, that there is no loop found in this linked list. But if instead of going to null, it goes back to a previous node, then we can simply see that the number of nodes before that, the previous length, the previous travelings will be greater than the current travelings. As you can see, until here it has traveled 4 nodes, but after going to the next node, which is this, it will just have the distance from first node to last node equal to 2. That distance has decreased. It is only possible when it has came back from the later position to the initial position, and it will confirm that there is a loop in the linked list. But as you can see, for each iteration we are calculating the distance, and for calculating the distance we have to traverse from this point to this point, which is going to cost us a bunch of time. For each iteration we have to calculate according to the nodes. Initially it will be just one iteration, so 1, then 2, for calculating from here to here 2, and from here to here 3, and from here to here 4, so on until n. And this will cost us this is going to cost us n into n minus 1 by 2 times, which is in time complexity can be roughly estimated as n square, because it is proportional to n square. Therefore the time complexity will also be big of n square. But as you can see, we haven't made any change to the data structure or anything, and we simply didn't used any other memory, and we just iterated. Is there any possible way that by using these iterations only, by using these pointers only, but not the distance concept, by using any other concept, is it possible to know that there is a loop or there isn't a loop? Yes, there is a way. In this way we will create simply two pointers, not first and last, but two pointers, one of which is slow and other is faster, one which is traversing one unit distance at a time and other is traversing two unit distance or two nodes at a time. But before that, the code of this approach is here, and it's here. As in the detect loop function, we will just simply create a temporary node, and we will create two pointers, first and last. Initially first and last both are pointing towards head, but as the time goes we will keep on modifying the last element to last next, and we will keep on changing the previous length and current length. And for doing that we are going to calculate the distance between first and last. First will be always modified. The first will always be pointing towards the first node of the linked list. And the function which we are going to use to calculate distance is coded as right here, where we just simply choose a first pointer which is pointing to the first node, and there is pointer last which is pointing towards the last segment or the last node until we have to find it. And we will keep on iterating until we reach last, and when we reach last we will just simply return the value how many nodes we have encountered, and that won't include the node itself which is last. Therefore for that node we will add 1 and return the value. Now this is the best approach so far, with the time complexity of big of n and space complexity of big of 1, with no changes and simply two pointers pointing towards initially the first node, one which is iterating at the speed of one node per iteration, and other is iterating at the speed of two nodes per iteration. And as it is iterating we will see that there will be a point where the fast running node will either reach null or the it will go again in the loop and meet the pointer slow somewhere. As you can see in this example, if we create two pointers here, initially both pointing to the same head pointer, one is slow and other is fast. After first iteration the slow pointer will be here and the fast pointer will be here. If the null exists, then after this next iteration the slow pointer will came here and the fast pointer at that time will be here, and it already had been placed at null, and it will return a value false, which will show that there is no loop existed in this. But what if there is no null, there is a loop? Then instead of going here, the node after here it will reach again here. Now the slow is here and the fast is here. The fast pointer, if we see from left to right, is behind slow pointer. The fast pointer is behind slow pointer. So in the next iteration, the slow pointer from here will go here, and the fast pointer will again two jumps, and it will reach from here to directly in one iteration here. And at that particular time, both of these nodes will be pointing towards the same node. And it is only possible when there is a loop which exists. Therefore, this will create a simple concept where before slow reaching uh, to endpoints or almost endpoints, the fast pointer will meet it, and it will when it they both meet at the same point, we will check the condition. If that condition exists, it means that there is a loop which exists here. But if that conditions don't come, and before that the fast pointer or the next of fast pointer reached null, it will mean that there is a null and the loop doesn't exist. Let's see in code so that you can better understand it. As you can see, there are two pointers, slow pointer and fast pointer. Both are pointing initially to the head pointer or the list pointer. If the slow pointer reached null, or the fast pointer reached null, or the next of fast pointer reached null, it will mean that there is no loop which existed, in which case we will return 0. But if that condition doesn't come, we will keep on updating the slow pointer to slow pointer next and the fast pointer to fast pointer next, which will be 2 steps ahead. And if we met a slow pointer equal to fast pointer, which means there is a condition where they both met, which will mean that a loop exists, and we will return 1. Also, this algorithm is known as Floyd's cycle finding algorithm. This is the fastest method and has been described below. And also I've described this earlier in the video, where we just simply traverse the linked list using 2 pointers and move a slow pointer by 1 and a fast pointer by 2. If these pointers meet at the same node, then there is a loop, and if they doesn't, it doesn't have a loop. The time complexity of this approach is big of n, and the space complexity of this approach is big of 1. And these are the 5 approaches which can be used to detect whether there is a loop which exists in a linked list or not. And by that, thank you for listening to me, and this is the end of the video.